Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we'll talk a little bit about balance when it comes to making plates and other sort of custom fabrication items. Now in the shop here, you'll notice that we use waterjet, we use fiber laser, we have CO2 laser, plasma, we do some machining as well. So there's a lot of different variables involved with any given project that we are given to by our customers. And of course, it goes without saying, most of the projects we do here in the shop never see a video or a photo online at all because of NDAs. Now that we have that past us, today I was making a tractor plate for a customer. They just needed one, by the way. And we used a 4x5 plate. Now this is before angle grinding and cleaning up. But you'll notice the edge quality here, if you can see it, it's oxidized. That's because generally when I plasma cut, I just use shop air. It's very convenient. There's unlimited quantities of it. It's very cost effective, and the plasma cuts steel incredibly fast and well. And of course, the same precision as a waterjet, same precision as a fiber laser, CO2 laser. All these CNCs have the same precision. It's just the process cutting wise. Now here's another plate that we fiber laser cut, if you could see it. So you notice it's in shiny here. That's because this was fiber laser cut using nitrogen. So technically speaking, I can have nitrogen with my plasma cutter to cut stuff. It increases the price of each plate. Same thing as you can fiber laser cut stainless steel in this case here, and without nitrogen, and you end up with oxidation. Not as bad as this, but similar to this. So you got to think, to yourself when you're a customer, is it worth the extra cost to do all these extra steps for something that nobody will ever see? So if you come from the machining world, this would make sense. So the Imagineer might say, we got to make this part within 2 thou. So you spend all this extra money and time making something that's 2 thou, and then you find out down the line that nobody will ever see this from closer than 5 feet. Or, the measurements required for it would have been fine within, 7 thou. Is it worth the extra cost to go through that? If you come from the welding world, extra weldment. So let's say you're doing this here, and you add just the perfect amount of weld to make sure that the 2 plates hold on together. You can easily add a whole bunch of extra weldment, adds a lot of costs, might also decrease the structural strength of the steel because of all the heat affected zones. But is it worth the extra cost? So whenever we quote jobs, generally a customer says, we want this, we don't care how you make it. I generally trying to find the most cost effective and visually appealing way of doing it. Now, you can waterjet cut stainless steel just as easily as with laser and plasma and so forth, even machine it. With waterjet, you end up with an edge that's a little bit abrasive. What I mean by that, it's being eroded away. And of course, you can also technically cut these plates using EDM as well. And you end up with the same sort of rough texture along the edge, because EDM is also an erosion process like waterjet. So what I'm trying to tell you is, when a customer contacts CNCKing.com and says, we want 50 plates of this and 4 plates of this, and this is the material, this is the thickness that we want, I generally give them different options. So if we waterjet cut it, here it is. If we laser cut it, here it is. Here's the plasma cut, here it is. And generally speaking, most of the stuff we do is plasma cut. Very cost effective, very fast, very efficient. And if you're not crazy about the edge, there's also an angle grinder. There's also sanding. There's other processes that we can do to clean up the edge and so forth. But again, is anybody going to actually notice that? That's something to keep in mind whenever you do custom work. Now when it comes to plasma cutting stainless steel, if it's 316 or 304, it cuts exactly the same speed as well as different grades. In this case here we have 12 gauge, which is a little bit less than 1/8 inch or 3 millimeters. So it cuts totally fine with the plasma cutter. And in this case here, actually I was doing the tractor plate, but I also made a whole bunch of other plates for other jobs at the same time, and they just happen to all be the same size. So it worked out perfectly for this specific project here. Now, why would you want 316 over 304? They would both corrode. So if you think one will corrode, one won't, that's not true. What there is more resistance to corrosion in 316 over 304. So generally I ask the customer 2 questions whenever it comes to stainless steel plates. Number 1, is it near any marine environment because of the salt water? And that will help the corrosion for sure on stainless steel. If the answer is no, second question is it near any public pool? Public pool, you might not realize, has a lot of chlorine, and that goes in the air just like the salt, and it helps corrode plates. So if the answer to yes is any of those, I definitely use it, and 316 goes all the way. I actually do have customers where we fiber laser etch deep into a plate. And those are very specific, nuclear and those kind of things, where they need the extra sort of guarantee that nothing ever comes off sort of thing. But the vast majority of our work is just here. We do 1, maybe 2 passes with the fiber laser. It will not peel, crack, or fade over time, and it's completely permanent. You notice that we didn't add any ink, and the result is very sharp as well. So that's where, let's say, screen printing, UV printing, other sort of processes just don't last when it comes to fiber laser.